Good evening. I was on a mission. So there's a caveat to tonight's stream. I'm tired. I was up until 2 last night on a mission, and I've learned a hell of a lot. And yeah, it's one of these things that once you know what you're doing, it's actually pretty easy. It's really easy, actually. And what I'm talking about is backing up. So I've got, for instance, I've got a SCSI drive here for the Amiga. And what I've actually achieved here is that I've got a SCSI controller in this box down here. It's an older PC that I've got. I'm going to call it Stormy because, g'day Neo, I'm calling this one Stormy, this computer here, because it's a Caller Master Storm. So, why not call it Stormy? So it's old Stormy down here. It's got an i7, Gen 1 i7. It's a perfect machine to accommodate my 29160 Adaptec card, which has a 50-pin connector, 50-pin SCSI here to allow me to connect these. So, yeah, hopefully no thunder coming from the case. And of course, with that, I can mount these as such, in quotes, mount an entire drive in WinUAE. So yesterday, late yesterday, I went to the trouble of rebuilding my machine here. I whacked in a 1 terabyte spinning Rust drive just because it was there, and I thought, what's period appropriate for that machine? And I took a bit of a stab at Windows 8.1. So I've whacked Windows 8.1 on there and WinUAE. And I had a little bit of a play, a little bit of toiling, to be honest, because I didn't really know what I was doing. But the whole objective was to be able to, build an Amiga hard drive image as such and dump it onto this physical drive, so then I could plug it into this physical Amiga. Yeah, that's the one I was thinking about putting Vista on. But I thought, I don't think it had Vista on it originally. And I'm thinking about putting Vista on it, on a different machine, because I had a little rummage around in the garage and I came up with this here, original Windows 98. It's a, Windows 98. Told you I was tired. Windows 8.1 Pro OEM. DVD. That's that there. And also, I found what was there, along with many other, I've got a few of these. Well, I'm not sure if that's the Ultimate Edition, but I've got a Windows Vista Ultimate 64, English DVD. I've got quite a few versions of Vista. I don't know why. It must have been that period where I was, I'd bought a bit of stock and maybe had a bit of trouble getting rid of it. Surprise, surprise. Yep. Yeah, so, that is what is that one? Yeah, that's the Ultimate Edition, Vista. So I've got a Sony laptop that it came with Vista from the very word go, and that'll be my Vista machine. I'm not sure I'll assign a desktop to that, but anyway, I put 8.1 on. I successfully I installed a full workbench. Was a 3.1 workbench. I could show you on WinUAE, and I didn't do any fancy setup. I just installed it from, ADF floppy disks, and then I copied or imaged the install basically to this disk here, and that was after the stream last night. That's what I worked on. And that was where I got to, I was following an online tutorial because I had a bit of a go myself, just thought I'd have a go. Couldn't work it out. Turns out I was battling a bug. I'll explain it soon, but the bug was stopping me from reading this. I had an OS on here already. I had Workbench 3.1 on this already. It was flaky. It was, I connected it to this machine and I was using it. It booted. Everything was fine. The whole idea, the whole idea was to back this drive up to a file. And I messed around, tried it just, by playing around. And turns out that, I wanted to mount this actually in WinUAE, and I couldn't because of this bug. And anyway, turns out that I actually ended up imaging this accidentally, thinking that it was part of the process of mounting it. I've imaged it. But anyway, I followed an online tutorial and I mounted this drive, and no, I wiped it in the end. I just completely wiped it, disk part, cleared it, and then created a brand new install on WinUAE with Workbench 3.1, got that up and running, and then dumped it to here. And at that stage, it was about 1 in the morning, but I was so keen to get this going, hence why I'm bloody tired. I was so keen to get it going that I thought once I got the install on here, I just need to physically plug it into this machine. Plugged it in and it just worked straight away. It was so good. So good. Yeah. So after I had a wee play, it was 2 in the morning. I had about, 5 hours sleep or something, and been working all day today, and then decided to do another stream. So apologies for any, But what I did this afternoon, late this afternoon, it just blows me away. It just really blows me away, the work that's gone into getting this sort of thing working, where I can take a drive, this drive here, well, no, not that one because I wiped it. It didn't have anything special on it. But if you take this one, for example, it's another one of those HP drives. I think they're rebranded Seagates. If this is what came with the Amiga haul that I got, and if I look it up, I can figure out what machine this came from. But you can see from the labeling there, this is not my writing. This is someone else's writing. I've written down here empty. and I put a tick mark there to say, you know, it's a good drive. DH4, 250 meg, TH5, that's 1780 meg. These are original drives that came with the Amiga haul, which, you know, and to be able to connect these physically to a bloody modern PC and take an image and back it up is brilliant. And that's what I did this afternoon. Late this afternoon, I sat down, I hooked this up and just mounted the drive. And as you mount it, you click a button, says, you know, back up to image file. It's as easy as that. It's so easy once you know how. But to actually, like so this drive here, this original one, I was battling a bug. So just wondering how I can actually show you that. But you know, some of us here may be aware of that bug. But I'll go through it. So I've got a little setup down here. Yeah, so the amount of work that these guys have put in is incredible. It's great. You know, you can't, it's difficult to, I mean, us as retro PC guys, you know. G'day, Evil C. Good to see you. I was just saying, us as retro guys, we appreciate, or we don't necessarily take for granted, that we can just plug in a modern PC. We can plug in a USB drive. We've got networking. You know, SATA hard drives. Bloody plug them in. Away you go. You can transfer files to and from them easily. But these old beasts, the problem I was having was if I wanted to get anything onto this machine here, it's a pain in the butt, you know. You've got floppy disk drives to deal with. I mean, you could burn a CD and do it that way. It's similar to what I was dealing with the Cyrix machine, you know, transferring files back and forward, burning a disk, putting it into the ROM drive, you know. The ability to, you know, build your image on an emulator and then just dump it to a hard drive like this is bloody amazing. It's a game changer. Yeah, there is network support on the Amiga. I've got a network card for it's a PCMCIA type card for the A600, A1200, but these beasties, I don't know how to get. Yeah, okay, so hideously expensive, as Carsinomi has pointed out, you know. We don't want hideously expensive. This is a good alternative, really. I mean, if you want to put something onto a drive, yeah, okay, you've got to disconnect it from here and you've got to plug it in. You've got to have a machine ready, you've got to plug it into here and away you go. That's fine. Transfer the files, put it back, you know. A little bit of hassle, but not too bad. The plip box, oh, I'm not even sure what the plip box is, to be honest. Yeah, see, I'm not even aware of some of these things you're talking about. I'm sure, you know, I've been under a rock, right? But for what I have on hand, this is bloody handy. This is the last drive I backed up tonight, just before dinner. I found a cable too. It's got a terminator on it, but some of these drives, well, the controller complains that that's over-terminated. So it went from last night to being under-terminated to tonight being over-terminated. Ooh. I don't want to replace my Picasso. I like my Picasso. This is the last one I backed up. That's what I backed up just before dinner. And I've got a label here. This is my writing. Backed up, what is it? 6 of the 6, 2017. Now, when I say backed up, it's not an image backup, it's a file backup. And I'm pretty sure I backed it up to zip disks. So, you know, I'm not sure how reliable that'd be, but turns out, this will make you laugh, I went to all this bloody hassle. I went to all this hassle of backing up these drives, thinking, oh, you know, there'll be some configurations and installations that, you know, are worth backing up, and, you know. That drive there, those two partitions, empty. Totally empty. So I had 2 gig image files, which were basically empty, but they're taking up 2 gig on my system. I deleted them in the end. That one, you know, DH4, DH5, empty. That one, that's a fresh install of Windows, more sleep required. That is a fresh install of Workbench 3.1 by the look of it, with directory opus on it. That's it. That's it. So, part of this whole mission is to back these drives here up. These drives. I think I might have shown them on stream, maybe last night. This one here. That one. We've got some labeling on here. DH2, DH5, DH3, backup, DH2, all good, 500 meg SCSI, and I've put a label on their drive too. So if I can back that one up. Got some chunky beasts here. Quite keen to actually fire these up, see if I can actually back these up. Look at this beastie. I think I showed these last night. 40 meg clean. FFS fast file system ID 4, Workbench 2.1, SDH0, SDH1, 10 meg and 30 meg, so that's 40 meg drive. That's a Seagate ST138N. So I'm, you know, going to go on a backup binge here. I won't go through all of them tonight, but at least I thought about going through the process, and just so that, you know, if I ever revisit this in years to come, I can go back to my year-old video and watch how it's done. This is a big old beast. That one. Very noisy. Something, files still in place. Oh, all files still in place. Big old chunky beast. Yeah. So I'll turn off the noise cancellation. We'll get some good old SCSI hard drive action going on, eh? The mountings on them, eh? It's like these big blue rubber mountings on them. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. So yeah, I can tell you the Amiga bug is biting extremely hard at the moment. It's just, yeah, I want to get these backed up. This one here I've got labelled as drive 3, so I've probably got notes on where I've backed these up to. 60 meg it says here, max tour, DH0, DH1, workbench 3.1. It says giving problems on this drive sometimes. So yeah, some of these might sound pretty funky. This looks like another Pro drive. Yep, got another Quantum Pro drive. Oh yeah, well yeah, we'll see about that, eh? 100 meg DH4 and DH5 3.1 backup. ID1 GVP drive boot. GVP drive boot. Few goodies. And we have a couple of ROM drives, optical. Couple of opticals. Cassie, I'm not sure you saw this the other night. Here's a SCSI, but SCSI drive, ROM, optical, CD-ROM. Missing probably like a volume controller, but if you have a look on the back, we've got RCAs. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Maybe I could get a ROM drive. Yeah. Maybe I could get optical on the old 030 there. And I thought there was a tape drive in here, but I've got another tape drive to show you. Because we were talking earlier on Discord about the tape drives. This is just as it came. Ooh. This is how it came. That is a DC 600A. Quite dusty. Not sure what state that's in. But that's the drive there. And I think this was used externally. Because look at this. Insulation tape, some sort of controller. And I'm wondering, with this here, if I plug that into maybe an A590, do you think? Or do I just remove this here and this is 50 pin, right? Just bloody 50 pins straight into the Amiga SCSI controller. It's a bit of food for thought, eh? And you know, I have no idea what state that drive's in. I've no idea what state that's that bloody power supply's in, to be honest. But yeah, that could be worth a bit of a laugh. I'd love to, you know, go down the old tape drive route just for a bit of a laugh. You know, just old times, eh? So I reckon we should probably spin up a couple of these drives. I want to try one of these meaty beasts here. So that's my, oops. Come out of there. Oops, yeah, just got bits falling out of this camera mount bit here. It's just hanging in there. Hang on a sec. What's that? Phillips. Just some running repairs here, guys. Fix this camera mount here. Shit. Maintenance issues. Righto. We're under control. Under control here. Right. Old Stormy. This is why I'm calling it Stormy. You probably can't read it there. That's a Caller Master Storm. It's quite a cool case actually, because you know, if you're heading off to your LAN party, there's a big handle just here. Pretty bloody handy. Handy dandy. Okay, let's chuck on one of these. Let's go for this beast in here first, eh? Chunky beast. Whether it will actually work, whether it needs, I don't know, some termination. Well, I've got a terminator on this cable. So the funny thing last night was, right, I had just a straight cable, no termination. I plugged in the drive, that one there. I plugged this in and the system complained that the drive wasn't, there wasn't sufficient termination, I think was the terminology it was using. And so I pulled the card out, it's a 29160N, and just to really get the model number off it so that I could, you know, download a driver for it. Literally plugged the card back in, connected the drive back up, and although the card complained that there was insufficient termination, the machine booted and the drive spun up and everything, you know. So I installed the drivers, eventually found drivers for it, for this card for Windows 8. Part of the problem I had last night was, so it detected the drive. Everything was working fine, hardware-wise, although it was complaining about being under-terminated. The biggest problem I had to start with last night was I was trying to deal with a drive that hadn't been cleaned, you know, with disk part. Whack that there. I was trying to, well, I did try and mount it to a WinUAE as it was, which should have worked, but for the bug. Oh shit, Oh, that was a tantalum. Ooh. Oh, shit. Wait, stop. Stop. Shit, a brick. Oh, that was a tantalum. Oh, shit. Hang on a minute. Open this window. Blowing crap up on stream. Oh my God, the place full of smoke. Oh man. Handy. Oh, far out. I need a drink after that. Let's have a close inspection. Bit of scorchy. Scorchy. Oh shit. It stinks. Yeah. Jeez. She's gone pop. Well, that was a good start. That's a surface mount. That should be quite easily replaceable, right? I can figure out what value that should be. Ooh, it's a Connor CP3100. Ooh. Far out. Okay. Let me put a big cross. Let me label that because I don't want to. Well, it's blown open, right? Jeez. Righto. Plan B. Let's try plan B. Fucking hell. Righto. If you want to go back and see it, it'll be on my Twitch, but I also put these up on YouTube. You know, so you'll be able to see that. Yeah. I had the noise cancellation on. Hopefully it didn't cancel too much of that out because it went bang. It wasn't a huge bang. It was more like a crack. Yeah. It's so fun. Look at the size of this bloody diode here. The size of that bloody thing. Righto. Take two. Shit, the old nerves are a bit. Didn't need that. Christ. Here we go. This is a beast. Oh. Hold on. Oh yeah. It's got one of those weird. It's got one of those weird power connectors that plugs straight down. Righto. Cover your ears. Cover your eyes. Cover your ears. We're going in. Here's the missus coming to wonder what the smell is. She's going to go, what's that fucking smell? Right. I'm going to take the noise cancellation off because you need to hear some of these sounds. Tantalum had a tantrum, all right. Can you hear that? I'm not sure it's happy. I'm just going to put my mic down there for a minute and have a wee listen to that while I will just go and get another drink maybe. Back in a sec. Oh, it still stinks in here. Still stinks like a bastard in here. It's not good. Yeah. That sound you can hear is not really grinding, it's just the spinning. But it was making the WinUAE clickies before. Let me see. We might hear it if I try and back it up, eh? I'm going to try and point you to my... This is terrible. Oh, I can. No, I can't. This computer here is not connected to the stream. This is my Windows 8 PC. But I want to try and show you what this bug is. Right, got to get the right mouse here. I'll just quickly show you this. So this is WinUAE firing up here. If I go to CDs and hard drives here, sorry about the capture. If I add a hard file, I'll show you the bug soon, don't worry. This is my test Workbench 3.1, that's a hard file. And if I add the hard drive, we've got an RDB right here. I know you can't see it very well. Before I go add hard drive, I could click create this button here, that button there, create hard disk image file. I could just click that and it'll just, ask for path, file name, bam. Back up the hard drive. Holus bolus. No questions asked. I won't right now. I'll go, and so when you're adding a drive, right, this is the bug. When you're adding a drive, this field here, which is a pull down, defaults to 0. May not default to 0, might default to 1, maybe. But in this case it's 0 because it's already picked up as an RDB drive. But if you put a drive that it doesn't recognize in there, no, if you put a clean drive in, it might pick up as 1. You change this to 0, which is what it should be. You add it, you reset the computer, the emulator, and this has reset to 1, whereas it should be still 0. That tripped me up, and it's a bug. I was watching some YouTube stuff today and it mentioned this. You change it back to 0, and then subsequent reboots, etc., it may change it to 1. It doesn't matter after the subsequent reboots. The first reboot, you have to set that manually back to 0. From then on, just let it do its thing. It's fine. I'm going to put the microphone down by the drive. You might be able to hear it accessing again. That's it. I'll just crank up the keyboard. There it is. SDHDO. And SDH1. So that looks like a very, again, this one's got very, very, this one up. It's very similar to that other drive that it's almost identical to this, almost identical to this drive here, where it's just got Workbench, looks like 3.1 with focus on it. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, sorry, it's hard for you to see that there. Yeah, so apparently it is a known bug when you go to add a hard drive. Yeah, see it's picked up as 1 there. That's probably okay because it's a Workbench, it's an Amiga drive, okay. But if you're starting out clean, it's got to be 0 to start with, and then the initial reboot sets it to 1. You set it back to 0 to force it back to 0, and then every other reboot from there is fine. Some weird bug. So I can go ahead and, actually if I create a hard disk image, you'll be able to hear this. So I'm just pointing to a file that I'm going to create here. Just going to call it temp because, oh no, wrong computer. I'm just going to call it temp there because I'll rename that later, but let's have a wee listen to this driver. Not very exciting, is it? It's a 30 meg. To be honest, I'm not sure why I would back it up, considering there's nothing on it apart from Workbench, right? And Directory Opus. But it's as easy as that to back up these drives, image them. Piss easy. And once you've got that image, you're trying to guess what I'm drinking. It's a Canadian Club, actually. And this is what it does every single time. It locks the emulator. I can't, right? I can't do anything here. She's out to lunch. I can't. And that's what happens every time I back up these. I have to go in here and end the task. Kill the emulation. Not quite sure why it does that. So yeah. What else can I show you there? So now that we've got that backed up, I hate this here. This Windows 98 bullshit. Windows 98. Told you I was tired. Windows 8. It's 8.1, right? You go to the start, what you think start, and you go, oh, sorry, it's not focusing very well. And you go up here and you go, oh, I want to restart the computer, or I want to shut it down. No, it's not there. It took me a while to figure this out. In the end, last night I was hitting Alt F4 until it bloody closed down. No, you go over here to the Charms, is it the Charms menu? Go to Settings, the Settings, Power, and shut down. What a piece of crap, I hate it. Ooh, the drive sounded good spinning down there. It's like, ooh. Still stinks in here. So that is the backup procedure that I will be running through with all of these drives. As I say, I won't go through it on camera, but that's the gist of it. So I'll just, when I remember, I'll rename that file to, you know, Seagate, the model number. Pretty sure I've only got one of those. But the good thing I like about this here is if we go, if I just wipe this drive out, does it need to be cleaned first? I think it might have to be. Anyway, without showing you, effectively that file that I backed up, let's say this one here, you know, that drive there, that's literally what I just backed up there. This drive here, right? I took an image of that. If I plug that in back into the computer, Windows 10 computer, and I use disk part, is it? You know, the Windows partitioning, you know, and you list disk, you know, select disk, select this one, clean, run the clean command, and you basically completely wipe this disk. And then you tell the emulator to, yeah, that's the one. You tell the emulator to look at this disk, you know, mount this disk basically, and then you can recover the image, basically write the image to this disk. It's bloody handy. It's going to be really handy. So the mission for me is to go through and, you know, back up all these disks, and yeah, at some stage I might look into recovering that hard drive that just blew its bloody tantalum. Actually, I'm not sure it was a tantalum. It's a surface mount. What do they call these? It's a surface mount component. It's got a sort of a rectangular, it's more like one of these. It's a surface mount ceramic. I'm wondering if that's like a ceramic capacitor, or do they come in those, do tantalums come in those packages? Trying to find another one that looks similar. Oh yeah, it could be, right? Could be something like that. Could have been one of those, that yellowy one there. It's gone kaput. Oh no, it's actually got a black, well, we can actually read it. Can we? 6.8. See that? 6.8, 240 volt. That's the cap. That bit there is the lid that's peeled up. Or 20 volt, sorry. 6.8, 20 volt. That's the lid that's come up. See that? And a nice little scorch mark there. Yummy. Lots of fun. I wonder if the drive would still work. I mean, it's blown open, right? It's blown open. Very noisy, all files still in place. Do you reckon I should, do you think I should just plug it in and see if I can image it? It's blown open circuit. It's not shorting. Could take that capacitor off there, eh? Yeah. Yeah, it's risky plugging it in as it is, that's for sure. Yeah. Yep, you're right. I should leave that for another day. So yeah, that's going to be the little project, is to back these drives up. But what I'll do is show you that we can restore one of these. That one's empty. I mean, I could restore, so that one's empty as well, I'm sure. These are empty drives. They've got partitions on them, that's it. But, you know, I could clean that one and install, you know, what's on here, which is Workbench 3.1, basically copy this. But yeah, I don't really need to show you that. Yeah, I think you get the gist of it. I know Carsinomi, he knows what it's all about. He's done it before. I'm sure some of you guys probably have as well. And you know, as I say, you get the gist of it. Yeah, I saw that. Just put, yeah, massive set of bloody Terminators, wasn't there? Resistor packs, yeah. Which drive was that on? There's another one. Yeah, be these here, right? Termination. Yeah, I only use WinUAE. I don't use it for playing, put it that way. I use it for getting systems built, you know, installing OSs, configuring OSs and whatnot. And I've done this, I've carried this procedure out on compact flash cards, but I've not done it with physical SCSI drives, and that's why I was so pleased to get this going. Was it's all well and good to plug a USB compact flash reader in and whack a compact flash card into a reader and image that way, but to actually do it on Amiga, physical Amiga drives, that's cool. That's what I like. And I was pretty keen to get good backups of these discs. That was the plan. And this one here, so this is when I put Workbench 3.1 on last night and tested the system. So the plan will be, at some stage, you know, to whack this into that Windows 8.1 PC, install Workbench, maybe that Better Workbench. I've been watching a tutorial on that, Better Workbench. There's a file system that's better than the standard Amiga file systems, a later version of the file systems. Can't remember what it's called now, but the link that was referred to doesn't work on Aminet for some reason. Yeah, PFS3, that's the one, Cassie. Yeah, so I clicked the link to go to get that last night, and it just times out. Page is not available, so that's something I want to sort before I go too far with it. I'm not too sure how important it is. I'm tempted to just build up a nice little machine, even with the fast file system, put WinUAE on it, and just chuck on my favourite games and the stuff that I want to play while I'm streaming. Right. Yeah. So it's definitely an option. So I was wondering if maybe I'll play a little bit more of that solid gold, albeit quite difficult. Let me just get set up here. I tell you what, this room, because I'm sort of trying to achieve all this stuff with the Amigas, and I've got this bloody Windows 8 machine here, and oh man, you don't want to know. Like, there's a tiny little walk space there, right, out to that door there, and there's like floppy disks and hard drives, boxes of hard drives, all sorts of crap. I'm sort of just almost building all this crap around me so that I can't even get out of this room almost. Oh man, and I've got my workbench over here behind me is just chocker with stuff. I have to clear it. I still have to clear it off every morning, like all this here, right? That I have to clear that off in the morning before I start working. It's just getting out of hand. But you got to have all this stuff handy, don't you? Especially when you're streaming, it's not like the odd time you might have to go out and rummage around on the garage, but I'm trying to sort of get as much as I can on hand, if possible. Yeah. Just going to crank up the 040 here. We've got everything in order. I need lots of shelving. I need lots of shelving units. You don't want to see the garage. I mean, it's worse. Fucking hell. Okay. Bit of solid gold. See if I can do any better than I did last night. Yeah, well, I'm not sure. I haven't seen Carsey's shed, but I can imagine. I mean, I don't know. It'd be. I suspect it might be a bit of a competition there. I don't know. Not as far as computer hardware. I do have a bunch of computer hardware in there, but I also have collections of antique and retro sewing machines, and even not so retro sewing machines. I have a bit of stock out there as well. But there are basically just little alleyway walking spaces to get your way through. It's shocking. I've got a funny taste in my mouth from that bloody tantalum, I'm sure. Right. Good old capture system, hey? I can't zoom right in on this screen because it'll focus hunt. Oh, that's right, this button's screwy. I'm wondering if the CD32 controller might be more appropriate for this game. So now I know I can easily pull the drive out of the 040 machine, Workbench 3.9 install, whack it into the Windows 8.1 machine, back it up, put it back in. Easy as. That's what I like about it. Up to count on this controller is not that great. See those guys spying through the windows. I'm not quite sure what that's about. Oh! You can probably hear me now. I don't know, NVIDIA Broadcast seems to have got its knickers in a knot, has it? Hello? Yeah. Yeah, I'm wondering if NVIDIA Broadcast has got its knickers in a knot here. Sorry about that. I was bitching and moaning about that game. Not really bitching and moaning, just saying it was unforgiving. Difficult to progress, you know, you have to remember every single, and it's one hit kill. So in a nutshell, what I was saying is Super Frog, at least you can progress, you know, there's you get several hits before you die, unless you hit on, you know, land on spikes, which instant death. But that game is just a bit brutal, and I know the Amiga game, or old games in general, are like that. And if back in the day you had very few games, you know, you'd persevere with something like that, wouldn't you? But I mean, this is a modern age, and that's a reasonably modern game. Even Gods I can progress through, you know, and that's a hard game. I get a lot further in Gods and Super Frog. Well, it feels a bit like Surgeon would be something I may not like either. No, I haven't tried that one. Sounds like fun. But yeah, I don't like that. You know, I've had, 3 or 4 goes at that now, and I still can't get past the first level. It's a bit too brutal for my liking. I like the idea of, I mean, I'm not very good at Gods, and I can get past the first level and the big boss, and, you know, get into the second level and make progress through that. I could think I can beat the second level as well. Same with Super Frog. I can get right up to the castle level. I think Lara, my niece, was saying we got through the castle level just about to the last one. You know, it's, yeah, it's hard, but it's not that hard. That's just a bit, might be a bit like Rick Dangerous, is it, Carsey? I think you were playing that the other night. It looked pretty hard. And I think you were saying then that you have to memorize every single little trap, you know, it's going to get you. Yeah, I've not played Rick Dangerous, but I did watch you play it. And yeah, that looked pretty brutal. Yeah. Oh yeah. Just wondering what else to do. I'm quite keen to work on some WHD load stuff, but it's probably not something for the stream. Yeah, you'd think a bit of game testing might have been a good idea, wouldn't you, when they finished it? Because, you know, the feedback would have been, might be a bit hard. So we'll chuck in a few little bits and pieces to make it a bit easier, shall we, here and there? Yeah. Yep, I'm pretty keen, as say, to get WHD load games sorted. I've got Stunt Car Racer on this one. R-Type doesn't work, Catacus, and I'm tempted, as said the other night, tempted to go through and just individually install them. Just at least for a start. The ones that I like to use, I like to play. So yeah, I'm thinking I might call it, guys. So it's I really just wanted to show you where I was at with the physical SCSI drives and backing them up and restoring to them and things like that. It was pretty exciting for me. And yeah, need to do a bit more work on a nice clean install of Workbench, and I think the idea will be to get you know, these two Amigas here set up nicely with Workbench installs. Just a matter of figuring out what I'm going to do with each one. I mean, the 040 is a good contender for, you know, the likes of Frontier Elite 2 and things like that. There's a lot of games that don't even use the accelerator, don't take advantage of them. I've got quite a bit of productivity software that would be quite keen to explore as well. Maybe even a bit of programming. I'm a hobby programmer. Certainly no, I'm not very good at it, but I like to mess around just with the basics. I like BASIC. I've dabbled a little bit in machine code. That's kind of cool. That really interests me. But I mean, man, you need a lot of time to invest in, you know, delving into BASIC and things like that. But yeah, that's something that I could explore. Yeah. So yeah, I think I'll call it, and probably come back later in the week and yeah, maybe show you what I've achieved. Just little incremental improvements here as we go. So yep. Yep, so WHD load's working on this computer. It's just I don't have the games installed, right? So, and I looked at the possibility of Zeb's image and things like that, but to be honest, I don't need all those games. Yeah, I've seen that WHD load site, and so my understanding is you can grab the whole game. It's kind of like you don't have to run the installer and then point the installer to the ADF. You just grab the whole package and dump it on the drive, and that's what I want to do. Zeb's looks good, but it's probably just a bit too. It's a bit too much. Like, there's a lot of, I've got boxes literally right here. I've got 3 of these big, and this is just part of it. I've got 3 of those, you know, these old school boxes full of games, right? 3 of them stacked there. I've got more in the garage full of games. Half of them I'm not even really, well, I'm not familiar with at all. And so I've got a select number of games that I know and that I remember from back in the day, and there's quite a few of them. They are the ones that I want to put in to a WHD load install, so that I can just double click, bam, done, you know, so that I can come here, and when I'm streaming and I'm sort of like now wondering what to do, I can just play some games. But because I don't have them sitting right here, right now, I could fire up some games, but I can just choose whatever I want to play right then and right there, without having to muck around finding the discs, things like that, installing them and things like that. So yeah, WHD load, that's a definite yeah, yep. Yeah, so I'll probably just grab a, what do they call it? Just a subset of games. And if it ever comes to the point where someone says, "Oh, you should try such and such," or I'll grab each one as it comes and go from there. But I'm not the type of person to look through a massive list of games and just choose one randomly and play it, unless I see someone else playing one and think, "Oh yeah, that's pretty cool. I'll take a look at that." That's the way that I work. I'll just grab a subset. So yeah, I see the Zeb's one is looking pretty good, but it's probably just too much. Yeah, that's what I do when I watch other people play games. I think, "Oh, I remember seeing that. Yeah, that's a good game." Yeah, but if I get the majority of games that I want on there, I think that's a pretty good start. Yeah. So that's going to be my next mission. Probably on the 040. Maybe use that as my gaming machine. I don't know. I might use the 030 just as a sort of a test, not test bed, but a machine that I just mess around with. I can try different installs and things like that with, muck around with it. Yeah. See, even back in the day, though, I didn't really play all that many games. But I have a core set that I've got very fond memories of, and that'll definitely be in the list for sure. Yeah. So that's the plan, is mainly to get WHD load games running on the 2000s. Be pretty cool. And build up a nice, a nice image of a nice workbench image with all the bits and pieces that I want. Just build it up in WinUAE, and so that I can copy it to a physical drive and whack it into the machine. I can play with different installs, things like that. Yeah. So that's the plan. Yeah. But yeah. Anyway, I'm going to call it. The room's starting to clear out a bit here, so I might open up all the doors and windows and clear it out a bit more. But it's still a little bit stinky. I'm quite looking forward to reviewing that footage, actually. Yeah. Hey, thanks very much, guys, for swinging by. Yep, will do, mate. Alice is, she's coming out of her shell more and more every day, so yeah, she's pretty cool. And yeah, thanks for that. And I think I'm gaming with my son tomorrow night. Not sure if I'll stream it. May do. I could just hear Alice running up the hallway. She's pretty noisy. But yeah, might catch us tomorrow night. Who knows? Actually, I'm quite looking forward to watching Carcinomi's stream. I think you've got some interesting stuff to look at tomorrow night, Carci, and yeah, we'll catch up with you tomorrow night after maybe. Yeah, I saw that post on Discord. Yeah, looking forward to watching that. Just sitting back and relaxing. Sounds good. All right, guys. Thanks a lot for swinging by. Catch you later on.